Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our Tuesday and Thursday chats around ways to embrace your life, heightening your celebrations, and lessening your sorrows through a positive focus. I am Carol C. Miller, your positive impact coach, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you on this Thursday in Chicago. Join me and let me know in comments where you're joining me from. It's 11:30 a.m. here. What time is it in your part of the world, and what's going on as far as weather-wise? It's actually a nice spring day here in Chicago. It's in the low 60s, I believe. Which in Chicago, it could be 40 right now, or it could be 70. You just never know. And I'm sure that many places that you're in, it's that same experience as well. So right now, I am not seeing comments, and sometimes that happens, and that's okay. But when I do notice them, I will absolutely say hello to you, and I will come in after I'm done with the live and read your comments and make any comments necessary back. So I'm looking forward to connecting and learning a little bit more about you. Today, we are going to talk about love. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. As you know, if you've been following me at all, my four deepest values that I speak about, coach about, live personally with is love, kindness, compassion, and peace. So I read a book years ago. I mean, I have not read it recently. I'm sure it still holds true as far as the content. I know that there's many editions of it still, but it's called The 5 Love Languages. And it really, when I read it, had a great impact on my life and how I perceive my relationships. Now, it started more as romantic love, and then he has expanded. So he has a quiz on if you're a couple, if you're single, if you're a teen, and there's a fourth one, maybe young kids. And so I'll post in comments. I think I already posted on Positive Focus. I don't think I can post it in the group through StreamYard that I'm using right now, but I'll come back in later to post. It's a free quiz that you can take online to learn what your love language is. And the importance of knowing your love language, as he describes it, is we tend to give love the way we want to receive love. So he has 5 different buckets of what he calls love languages. The first one is words of affirmation. And you hear people talk about, what is one of the memes that I see all the time that really I disagree with? Oh, it's that love isn't in words, love is in actions. For me, love is in words and love is in actions. So it's whatever is important to you. So if you're somebody who words of affirmation is big in your love language, hearing that love in words doesn't matter isn't going to work very well for you, because it absolutely matters to you what people say and how they speak to you. And if it's your biggest love language, when people say meaner things to you or unkind things to you, it's going to hit you harder than it would for somebody who actions is a bigger part of their world. So when you know your love language, then you can know that that's how you're giving it. And then you're going to learn how you receive it too. So the second one is quality time. And that is spending actual quality time. He specifies or the quiz that you take, it's uninterrupted time. It is time where you are communicating specifically with the person. It doesn't mean sitting and watching a movie together or going to a concert together. It's one-on-one time where you have actual quality connected time. And the third one is acts of service. And that's when you're doing something for someone, and it doesn't have to be big. Any of these things, words of affirmation doesn't have to be, I love you. It could be, I really think, I really like that color on you. I really like your hair, or anything like that. But it's you're affirming that person through your words. With quality time, you're giving your attention to that person with your time. It's like, I love going to concerts with people. I love spending time with people, but that's different than quality time with people. And so that's something to think about when you do take the quiz, if you choose to. I find many of these type of quizzes very interesting anyway. So I've talked about words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service. So acts of service can be small little things, like especially in the situation if you're a couple or living together. So maybe each one of you has particular roles that you do in your relationship. One person's super busy, so your act of service is to step in and help with that situation. It does not have to be a huge act of service, but any little thing you're doing to show that person that you see them by helping them is how they receive love, if acts of service is their top love language. And then it's physical touch. And I remember when I read the book, he was saying, and again, I should check. I don't know how old this book is, probably 30 years. It's been around for a long time. But he was saying that most men, if you just ask them without taking the quiz, they would say physical touch is their top love language. But it's beyond having sexual touch. It's about, do you like holding hands with people? Does it feel good to have, and it's, again, somebody that you care about. Like, I hug strangers, so that's a whole different ballgame than talking about your love language. So does it feel good if you need comfort to have somebody put their hand on your shoulder? Some people that doesn't feel comforting. One of my nieces who I love and adore, and when she comes to me with problems, I totally give her the wrong love language because I give her a big hug. And that's not the way she receives love. She's okay with it because she knows it's a big love language for me, but she needs me to just sit there and listen to her and not have physical touch. So for her, that quality time would be far more important than the physical touch. She's aware that physical touch is important to me, so it doesn't bother her per se, but that's not the way that she receives love, especially when you're in a tender moment, wanting to feel love for whatever thing you're going through. And then the last one is receiving gifts. And gifts, of course, can be big gifts, but it's receiving a thoughtful gift. It's receiving I'm thinking of you card in the mail, and that brings you joy because gifts show that that person loves you when you receive a thoughtful gift from them. Now, the interesting part of knowing your love language, so for me, words of affirmation is my top one, and it's followed really closely by physical touch. I'm curious if that would still be the same thing 12, 13 years ago before I started doing hugs and knowing the power of physical touch, but I don't know, because I wouldn't say I was a physical touch person prior to that, but I've always been a words of affirmation. That is how I show love easily. So when I first took this quiz years ago, it made total sense. But for me, my least one is receiving gifts. Now, most likely, if you take the quiz, you're going to have a percentage in all of them. I have 1% in receiving gifts. Does it mean on my birthday and Christmas I don't like getting gifts? Of course I do, but that isn't necessarily my love language. My love language is when you say you appreciate me, or you do, you talk about kind things with me and that kind of thing. So knowing receiving gifts is my low one. When people give me gifts, especially when I can tell that that's their top love language, I'm able to receive it in a whole different way because I know that they are giving me love by giving me this little gift. I have a friend who probably a half a dozen times during the year, I'll get something in the mail from her that she was out someplace and she just saw it, or she was on Amazon and thought of me. And they're little things. It's not like it was an expensive item, but I know that she thought of me in that moment and thought to give it to me because gift giving is a love language for her. So knowing that, had I not known the different love languages, I still would have thought it was nice. I mean, it's not like somebody gives me a gift and I'm going to go, I don't want it. I don't like gifts. It's not liking gifts. It's how you receive it. Does that receiving a gift show you that you're loved, that you're getting love, that you're feeling love because of the gift? I get gifts and I enjoy those gifts, but it doesn't necessarily come across to me as love unless I really think about it, knowing, this person, that is their love language. Now, birthdays and, holidays where you're kind of expected to give gifts, I think it could be a little different anyway, but it's those thoughtful gifts. It's the the unexpected card that you give. It's those kind of little things. Picking a flower or something like that. It does not have to be a big thing. But I encourage you to take the quiz, because it really helps learn what your love language is and how you receive love. And especially if you're in a couple situation. I know another friend, and they are the exact opposite. One is words of affirmation and the other one is gifts. And so when your top one is your partner's weakest one and vice versa, then you just have a little bit more intentional work to do to recognize that your partner is giving you love. And when you know that your partner, like, let's say if my partner was a received gifts person, then I would know, even though it's not my natural way to show love, in order for my partner to feel loved, I'm going to need to learn how to do those little gifts here and there to help them feel loved. And they would need to learn how to give those words of affirmation for me to feel the love. So it's not only about knowing how they receive and give love, but it's how you can enable yourself to give the love that the people you love want to give. You want the people that you love to know that you love them. So when you know their love language, it's much easier for you to step into their love language, and they're going to understand it more than me as a words of affirmation person telling the gift giver how kind and wonderful and sweet and smart and all this stuff they are. They're going to still appreciate it. I don't know of many people who don't like hearing kind words, but it's not their love language. So they're not going to take it the same way as if they said it to me. That's going to hit my heart a lot stronger than it's going to hit the heart of a gift giver. The gift giver is going to be all lit up and excited when they get that card from you. So I hope that makes sense. So today I would really love for you to think about the relationships in your life, the romantic relationships, the friendships, the family love, whatever, the people who are important to you in your life. Think about your interactions with them, maybe the last interactions you even had, and see if you can even establish for yourself without knowing for sure, because they would need to take the quiz on their own. It's like, I wonder how they receive love. And I think once you know how you receive it, and that's usually the way you give it. So if you find that you're somebody who likes to speak kindly to people, probably affirmations is going to be your top one or two. And I did look, the results I found were 2018, so it very well could have changed. But the top one is words of affirmation. That was the most common top love language. Then it was followed by quality time. Then it was followed by acts of service. Then it was followed by physical touch and receiving gifts. So it doesn't matter if you're a 1 or a 5 or a 3. What matters is you knowing what you are and knowing what the number is for the people that you love. Because that way, when you're a words of affirmation person and don't really care about gifts, and somebody gives you a small trinket, a small gift, you're going to appreciate it a lot more, because you know that there is their love language. I tend to be somebody who does not keep a lot of things. I don't have a big place to live in. So I used to be, before I knew what the receiving gifts meant to people, I'd be like, no, don't send me this little trinket. I have no place to put it. I didn't say it to them, but I would think it to myself. I have no place to put this. Don't send it to me. And now I realize that if that is their love language, I am so appreciative that they're thinking of me in that moment in order to give me that gift, whether it's a big gift or a small gift. So I think it's really helpful to know your own love language and know how you receive and give it. And that way you're going to be able to see all the love that's coming to you from people that you may not feel are showing you love, because they're showing you love in the way they receive love. So the more we know how we communicate with each other, it heightens celebrations and lessens sorrows through that. So I'm definitely going to post the link. I believe I already have. and I will share it in here. And I would love it if you do take the quiz to share your results. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Danielle. Uma. Oh boy, I'm hoping I'm going to say this one right. Akintat and Kintate. And then I have a Facebook user who says I'm live with you. I'm guessing that is Brian in my Embrace Your Life community. Yi Kwa U. Thank you for joining me, everybody. And Lisa is in Cleveland, Ohio. So I would love to know your results on yours. Mine top is words of affirmation, followed by quality time, acts of service. No, I'm not. I'm just reading the list 1 through 5. Mine is words of affirmation, then physical touch, then quality time, then acts of service, then receiving gifts. So it's really been very helpful for me to know my own love language, and to sometimes I have to just try to figure it out for other people. I've had a lot of my friends and family take it, so I do know some of them. But the ones that I don't know, I just kind of have to figure it out myself. But it really has helped me not take things personally when it's not my love language, where I'm not seeing the love come from them when they are really trying to show me love, but it's not the way that I would normally receive it. So I encourage you to take the quiz, learn what your love language is, come back and share it in here, because I would love to see what your strongest love language is. And of course, if you get a chance, pick up the book and you'll learn even more. It's the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I'll put it in comments as well. So that is it for today. As always, and I know, Anna, you have asked me about anxiety. I am going to cover it. And I think kind of I try to cover it a little bit in every situation, because the more that you step into appreciation and gratitude and breathing and just embracing all of you. It's easy to embrace the parts that we love. It's easy to embrace the good times in our life. But when we're able to see the beauty, to see the gift in our challenges and our hard times, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see it in the moment. Sometimes you need a little space before you're able to see it. But that's when you can relax a little bit more into yourself and dissipates anxiety. Again, I am a coach. I am not a counselor or a therapist. Sometimes we need more assistance than what coaching can provide. And that's okay too. It's not a right or a wrong. Mental health, wealth, and taking care of our mind, body, and spirit, and however we can do it for ourselves is the best way to go about it. I think knowing your love language is also going to help. So I would love to see what those your results are. And I will be back again on Tuesday. If you know of a topic, Anna, I promise I will get to anxiety. But if you have other topics that you would like me to bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace into that space, and it can be even talking about kindness, compassion, love, and peace. So it doesn't have to be a hard situation. It could be whatever you want for us to discuss in our twice a week chats on embracing our life. So go out there and have a wonderful Thursday. I will talk to you again on Tuesday. If you are in my Embrace Your Life community, I do Monday morning, 11:30 a.m. Talk just for the people in that small group, so you can join me there as well. Otherwise, I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back in comments. I would love it if you took the quiz. Anything I say is always going to be an invitation, not a request, because you get to decide how you're showing up for yourself and showing up for others in the world. So take care. We'll talk again soon. So long for now. And remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. But most importantly, you matter to you. So long for now.